cancel this and the initiator will be handled. Just sorry. Because we need people to join. Maybe done. Yes. 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 Okay, this will work. What happens? Let's see, we will get something.
Right, Zane.
Nicholas?
Working with storytelling stuff.
What did you call? You should be on site with this. Yeah. Click here if it is not refresh. So again, let's call it.
Different browser. Let me open it. Okay.
Yeah, he's the most friendly guy. We have apple cider donuts. We have apple pie. So please grab, and if you need coffee or tea,
Thank you.
outside.
I will double go.
Yes, exactly.
Cool.
Now, yes, Saeed is here.
Yeah, so the problem is that I don't have a camera.
That's okay. I just wanted to clarify to
But why it is just switching between the
just mute yourself, and because when you touch with your fingers, it takes the screen to you.
how can I mute myself?
Oh.
Okay.
See. So I don't see you, but I know Saeed. So now Kareem should come.
So you should tell him that you should sign in to Hangout. And he left me.
Yeah,
So
you have to keep looking at.
Maybe his family will be the product.
I'm not sure. It's Google is not.
Google is changing a lot. So every time I open it, it's changed. I hope what you say receives the text. No? You send the text?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I was so happy. I win this year.
Do you know where at which room? In which room he is?
I know it was in the campus center upstairs, but not exactly which one. I can go. Hey, Kareem.
Yes.
Let me go.
We can start with Kareem. Nice to
Rafit,
see you, Kareem.
nice to see you too, Rafit. How are you doing?
Just a second.
So send me a text if
Kareem, do you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly.
Do you hear me, Kareem? Just a second.
Gotcha. Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm trying to install just a speaker so that all the room. Kareem, do you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly. It's an echo.
We're getting ready to start.
So what's going to happen?
We're getting ready to start.
So what's going to happen?
We're waiting for Professor Saeed, but I think we'll go course by course. We're getting ready to start.
There's an echo.
So
what's going to happen? That's still echoing what I said before.
I think we'll go course by course.
There's an echo. So what's going to happen? That's still echoing what I said before. So when you say course by course, Rafet, what are you doing? Nobody asked me to present anything.
Really?
Yeah, really?
Okay. Professor Saeed wrote in his email, you can talk about the course that you will be teaching next semester.
Okay, he just asked me to do a quick write-up. He never said to talk about anything.
Okay, so talk about the write-up. Would that be okay?
That's fine. I have to find it. Where did I put it?
Are you kidding me? We have a link in the invitation. I can send you the link.
No, I have it. I just have to remember. Wait, it's in the actual course. Here it is. It's with the course.
Okay.
I had to remember where I stored it. I was like, okay, where did I hide that?
So we have people in the room. I'm just facing the laptop to myself. So these are the attendees.
Who else is in the room? Tell me who's in the room.
Hi, my name is Nicholas. I'm
Hi,
a
Nicholas.
graduate student here at WPI. I'm studying industrial engineering.
Excellent. My name's Kareem.
Nice to meet you, sir.
Nice to meet you, Nicholas.
Right, Zaini?
Hi, how are you? Right. Long time no see.
Yeah, tomorrow, hopefully.
Will you be coming tomorrow?
No, I don't think I will. I was supposed to, but I'm way behind on so many things. I don't think I can make it.
You miss all the fun.
I've been catching up all week, and I'm still not caught up.
Yeah. And here, Christine.
Hi, Christine.
Oh, Karim, how are you?
Hi, Saeed. How are you?
I'm good. So I could get Professor Said's notepad. Only his notepad. He's coming with a delay.
Okay.
So there is delay function.
And Bob's not there?
Bob did not show up. I was told by Professor Saeed that he will be here, but I'm
He
not.
told me yesterday he would be there also.
Oh, really? So we're having a time delay. Are you okay with time?
Yeah, I mean, it's exactly 3 o'clock here. I don't know what time it is there.
Yeah, it is. No, I mean, do you have any time limitation that you have to leave in like 5-10 minutes or so?
No.
Okay, so we're just waiting for Professor Said to show up here, and we'll start. In the meantime, we can have some dessert.
Did your wife make this?
No.
If you have a 3D printer, we can send you the code and then you can print it.
Excellent idea.
You have to have the the apple donut, cider donut drink.
Exactly.
I think it will be at some point. It's not very far from now, I guess. You will print recipes.
Here's Kate.
I think they call that a replicator in Star Trek.
Yeah. So now you are in IC Systems.
I am, yeah.
Yeah.
Not my office.
So why don't you, Kareem, give us an introduction about yourself to the audience, and we'll start from there.
Myself? Okay. So I learned system dynamics a long time ago from Dennis Meadows at Dartmouth College. And then I worked with Barry Richmond at Dartmouth College. And then I worked with Barry for many years at High Performance Systems, which later became IC Systems. The systems team seems to keep going there. And let's see. I don't know what else you want to hear. I've done a lot of projects in system dynamics. I teach 3 classes at WPI. I teach Introduction to System Dynamics, Project Dynamics, and Modeling for Insights, which is next term. System Dynamics for Insights.
Are they term-long courses or semester-long courses?
Semester long. They're all semester long.
Excellent. Any question?
No.
Professor Said is here.
Sorry, I was.
Actually, that was my mistake.
Your mistake.
I've known Professor Said for a long time.
So here he is.
Hello.
We've had Kareem introduce himself.
Kareem is joining electronically.
Yes, yes.
Oh, I
so
see.
Kareem is here.
I'm right here. Hi, Holly.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty well. Very, very busy week here.
Yeah, likewise. I do have a little PowerPoint, in fact, that I prepared to give an overall view of
Good.
the program. So let me. Sure. You have a way to.
Yes.
That'll be.
I don't know if we understood.
Thank you.
It's getting dark here already. I don't know what time zone you guys are in, but it's getting dark early.
Donuts.
Buenas, Christine.
Well, Bob made it too.
I did. Yes. But you
Hi,
can't
Bob.
hear me.
My name's Nicholas.
Hey. Oh, my name is Raed Zaini.
This was Caleb.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, I didn't talk about IC Systems. So I've been here for a long time, and Bob and I are now co-owners. We make Stella and I Think.
There you go. At the same time.
Thank you, Pete. You got it.
I'm copying my
Ah,
model
so-
from Stella. I think the story 10. Then I figure out if Stella can do the story. Stella professional.
Stella as well.
Yes. We're looking.
How many people are watching?
So far, 0 viewers. Not bad.
So you're just warming up.
But we will be. This will be recorded, so we
I
can
see.
share it with them if they don't. So we'll be sharing. Oops. Karim will be sharing a screen, Professor Saeed's screen here.
Okay, that's what I guessed you were doing.
So while Rafat is setting it up, I just want to say a word about the history of CLM that is hosting now this particular event and how it has evolved, but I'll just take 1 minute for it. And then start with our program. Now, actually, CLM, as it is now, used to be a brown bag Friday lunch in building E40 at MIT System Dynamics Group back in the 70s. And a very oppressed community of PhD students who the Sloan School thought, our colleagues in Sloan School thought were crazies, used to meet to share their research and get peer opinion. And the important part there was that this was collegial, non-evaluative feedback that you got from this group. And first we just met informally, and then one of our colleagues, who's a great organizer, started organizing it and started scheduling us. And guess who was this great organizer? Peter Senge.
Oh.
And so when I graduated, after some time, a group formed between MIT and Albany PhD students. They started organizing this event. And the turning point for WPI was when Rafat and Saeed came here and rejuvenated the ST Club and created a group here and gave it a name at CLM. So that's the very brief history. Now, coming to our program, we started back in 2003. At WPI. 2003. Before that, I guess it had run at MIT for good, how many years?
5, 8 years.
5, 6 years before we adopted it in some ways. And Bob has taught in the MIT program and also. Okay. Yeah.
Karim, do you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's working fine.
Good. Excellent.
So basically, we have these options. There are standalone courses. And when I started to put them down, I was surprised that we have actually 13 courses. I did not know. I thought we had something like 9. But when I started putting the names down, I discovered we have 13 courses now. We have 2 graduate certificates in System Dynamics and System Dynamics and Innovation Management, which is in collaboration with the Management School. And we have masters again in System Dynamics and Innovation Management, which is with the Management School. And we have a PhD program, which is a resident program. And currently we have 6 PhD students. So here are our courses. And the first one is a foundations course, ST5550, and the cross against it doesn't mean you shouldn't take it. It means that it has no prereqs. We have introduced another course recently, and it's still an experimental course. It's numbered ST5590, which is reserved for experimental courses. And that's called Introduction to System Dynamics. And that was developed by Karim, and it also has no prereqs. In fact, both these courses serve as for our advanced courses. Prerequisite. Taught by different instructors, same objectives, different approaches.
Different approach, yes.
approaches, same object, same learning objectives.
Which two?
One and two.
What is the main highlight in terms of the difference between the two courses?
I guess I don't know. It's probably the syllabi, which the specific syllabi that they use. The first course was developed by Jim Linus and Jim Hines long time ago, and it's a fun course to follow. They talk to each other and they make jokes and they pull each other's leg during that lecture, which are fun to follow. The course is very heavy on homework, which is very precisely defined, and basically tries to build the conceptual background for pursuing system dynamics. ST590 does the same thing, but it's developed by Kareem, and he'll be talking about it.
Wasn't S590 something else?
ST590 is the number reserved for any experimental course. So if a course has gone through our faculty committees, it's assigned a regular number. Before that, it can be run as an experimental course. So this has yet to go through the process.
550 is the course that started.
Yes.
The very original course.
The third course is ST551 that I developed, and the title is Modeling and Experimental Analysis of Complex Problems. And this sort of builds on the basic concepts and tries to coach the students to address complex problems using system dynamics models, and tries to decrease the hand holding. You are not given very precisely defined problems. You are given questions, you are given a story. And also it tries to link up with generic systems, because each of the problems which is given out as homework is tied to a generic structure. So that's sort of a beginning of dealing with classes of problems. And also it emphasizes the design of experiments and interpreting experiments, but the interpretation is qualitative. It's not software intensive. You still use very simple software. You have to really think more about it. So it's analysis, but it's not analytical techniques, which is Bob's domain. I'll come to that in a moment, and Bob will explain. And then we have ST552, which was developed by Jim Hines at MIT, and he calls it Insights. It deals with what he called molecules, which are in some ways simple generic structures that explain complex problems. And part of this course is also aimed at understanding the dominant feedback structure that creates problems.
Exactly.
So in mathematics, there is the concept of eigenvalues. In system dynamics, we have dominant feedback loops. There is a relationship between the two. So that's what this course is about. And Kareem is going to reenact that course and teach it next term. So I'll leave the detail to Kareem to talk about this course. Then we have 553, which is model and analysis techniques. Model analysis techniques.
Whatever the name you pick.
Which was developed by Bob Eberlein, who's here, and he's going to explain it in a moment. And interesting thing is that Bob has taught this course using a software that he wrote, which was Vensim. And he's now going to teach this course with another software that he also wrote, that is Stella Professional. So the reason I'm saying all this is that in a lot of courses, the instructors are originators of a concept or a theme, and they are teaching it. So that's the strength and highlight of our program. It's taught by instructors who originated that particular process that they're instructing. And we have 554, which is offered occasionally. It's called Real World, and it really is more of a set of projects, set of research studies. How many of you have taken Real World?
I have.
I haven't seen it.
Kareem has taken it, and maybe
I took that version which Jennifer came.
yes. So you took a version. So basically, the students are given a real world problem, and they are coached to address that problem. They actually have a client, and they work in that framework on one problem throughout the term. They share their findings with the rest of the class. It's a difficult course to teach, and so occasionally we can find an instructor who can take this difficult job. So that's why we offer it occasionally. And then we have 556, strategic modeling and business dynamics, which is developed by John Moorcroft, who also has a textbook with the same title. So John Moorcroft was in my cohort at MIT. He went to, he's an Englishman, so he went back to his country to teach at London Business School, and he founded the system dynamics practice there. They called it strategic modeling there. And so it's based on his work and his own textbook, which is an important strength in that course. Then we have ST557, latent structure, unintended consequences, and policy. And this is my course, and this is my life's blood that runs into that course. I spent almost 2 years sort of narrowing down to what I want to include there. And it's a progression of what I start in ST551. And we look at some more advanced genetic structures. The problem assignments become more diffuse. There is less hand-holding, and the students are just expected to answer some policy questions. Some complain, but a lot of them really like it. So I don't know how many of you have taken this course. Lucky, and Kareem has taken it too. And then we have 558, agent-based modeling, which is developed by Mike Ledzicki. There are no prerequisites for this course because it's an alternative, a different modeling technique to deal with complex problems. So Mike is not here today. If you have any questions, you can write to Mike about it. The 10th course is Strategy Dynamics, ST560. Strategy Dynamics is taught by Kim Warren. Again, no prerequisites. Usually people take 550 or 590 and 560 during their starting term. In my opinion, it's a systems thinking course. And I think system thinking has two tools. One is the feedback loops. The second is the stock and flow.
Right.
Most of the world, when you mention systems thinking, can relate systems thinking to feedback process. Very few can relate it to stock and flow. And I think Ken has made this innovation that he creates system thinking using stock and flow. But that could be my interpretation. Maybe if Kim heard it, he would tell me, hey, get out of there. But that's how I think that's the place that course, that it pursues system thinking with stocks and flows and adds great value that way. The 11th course, ST561, is Environmental Dynamics, and you need to have prerequisites, 550 or 590. It's taught by Andy Ford. It's based on his lifelong research passion, which is environmental dynamics. He started working on it for his PhD at Dartmouth College, and he currently teaches at Washington State University. If you feel that you have basic requirements, and actually Andy covers some of the basics in the course, you can write to him and ask him to waive the prereq, and he often does that. The 12th course is 562, Project Dynamics, which was developed by Jim Linus. And in the system dynamics field, Jim Linus is Mr. Project Dynamics. He, in fact, developed that concept and the detail, and he has been working on a textbook on project dynamics. I don't know what state it is in.
Not done.
So again, it requires 550 and 590. Now, Project Dynamics is currently offered by Kareem, and he uses some of the materials which are like a text, which were developed by Jim Linus, and he delivers that course. And Kareem, you'd have a few words to say about it when we come to it.
Well, the problem is there are a lot of feedback loops involved, reinforcing feedback loops involved in projects and how projects get managed, and a lot of people aren't aware of them. So we look at what all those are and how they work against us, especially when projects start running behind, and we figure out which actions we take have very negative consequences when we thought they would actually help us, and try to find actions that help us instead.
Yeah. So I mean, when we start about specific courses, you might want to go into some detail. Finally, we have macroeconomic dynamics, which was developed by Mike Radzicki, and it's about actually various theories of macroeconomics implemented in system dynamics models, and a fascinating course. A lot of students, but I mean, many of you have taken it, and so that's all the courses. And now the frequency of these courses, we do try to offer every year the courses in the left column here, like ST550 / introduction. What we are doing now is in the fall term, we offer ST590. In the spring term, we offer ST550, because either one of them can be the starting point for taking our upper level courses. And then we try to offer ST551 once a year, which has a prereq 50, 590. And 556 has been offered about once a year. And actually, in terms of learning objectives, 551 and 556 probably try to meet the same learning objectives. There are different routes, different instructors, different flavors. So you might notice that 551 and 556 are both listed as interchangeable prereqs in the advanced courses. We try to offer agent-based modelings once a year, usually over the summer. We offer strategy dynamics once a year, usually over the fall. And we offer macroeconomic dynamics once a year, usually over the fall. And every other year or less often, mainly because of the enrollment. We don't have enough enrollment currently to offer every course every year. So there are some courses we offer once in 2 years, and they are in the right column, and they include 552 Insights, which has not been offered, I admit, for some years. We are reenacting it. 553, we have offered it every year, and I don't know, I think it depends on you if you want to offer it every year, depending on enrollment. But I listed it as sort of every other year.
It's a very good course. Yeah. It's a lot of work for both the students and myself.
Yes.
My husband and I.
And also, I think our main consideration is enrollment. If it's like 10 or 8 or 10, we like to offer it. If it's less, it's like 4 or 5, then the administration frowns upon us. So basically, that consideration. And we have real world, which we offer very occasionally because, well, it's a difficult course to run, and not many instructors want to do it. Jim Hines started it, but Jim Hines doesn't care about self-preservation. So.
Jim Linus also, they did it together.
And the latent structures course, we initially offered every year, but there wasn't enough enrollment, so I moved it to every other year. Environmental dynamics, again, for enrollment reasons, we are trying to do it once in 2 years or less often. And project dynamics, I think we tried to offer every year, but there wasn't enough enrollment, so we'll consider offering it every other year. And finally, for the academic year 15-16, in the fall, we have offered ST590 taught by Kareem, ST560 by Kim Warren, 557 myself, and 565 Red Siki. These are currently running. And in spring, we plan to offer ST550, which will be taught by Oleg Pavlov, 551, which I'll teach, 552 will be taught by Kareem, and 553 by Bob, and 556 by Moorcroft. Now you might notice that we have more courses in spring than in the fall. Again, it's the experience. We, for some reason, get more people enrolling in spring than in fall. So summer, we usually offer we have been offering ST558, which is agent-based modeling, and occasionally ST590, which is an introduction to system dynamics. But again, it's something very flexible. We decide every summer. Actually, also during the term, since we don't have to reserve the classrooms, we have some flexibility, and we can change the menu every term. We do that often.
All online.
All online. These are all online. Okay, let me stop here. Any questions?
Do undergraduate students take this?
Yes, very good question. Actually, many of our undergraduate students have taken these courses. Some of them have gone on to complete masters. Some have taken these courses as part of the bachelor's master's program. Yes, we have a bachelor's master's program too. And there is a 12-credit overlap between bachelor's and master's, so there is some economy in the number of courses that you take. Some of them have taken it as to meet their requirements of a major. We used to have an undergraduate major in system dynamics, which has died, unfortunately. We do still have a minor in system dynamics at the undergraduate level. And we currently have 3 undergraduate system dynamics courses. These are SD 1510, which is Introduction to System Dynamics, SD 1520, which is Modeling Dynamical Systems. And there's a new experimental course which I introduced about 3-4 years ago. I taught it twice, and this D term I'm going to teach it the 3rd time. It's called Games for Understanding Complexity. It's the students play some role-playing games, and then from there we build models. And as we go along, we learn the process too.
That's undergrad.
That's
So
undergraduate.
it's only detail.
It's D-term, and it's SS150X, Games for Understanding Complexity. SS150X.
Do you need background?
You don't need any background, and actually, students have a lot of fun in that course. And it meets multiple objectives. You can meet social science requirements. Okay, no problem. You take a course in which you learn system dynamics and you can apply it in your IQP and MQP. Many students have done that. And also, it's a fun course. Playing games is fun. And then trying to build models from those games. So typically, students I have there are from math department, from aeronautical engineering, from electrical engineering, from IMGD, and computer science. Typically, these students come, but it doesn't require any of their skills. It tries to build on your thinking skills. Software is very easy to use, and the games are interactive, and you in the process learn to do some system thinking, build models, experiment with them. Okay, so that's my monologue. I just want to say that I've been talking with I'm always out to get new courses in. I've been talking with Dennis Meadows. I thought he would contribute a course. Actually, we all met him, but his doesn't seem to be terribly interested at this time. I've been talking to Chris Stair. Chris actually was my student when I was at Dartmouth College, and she's a professor.
Sorry, hi.
At University of Nevada. No, is it? Where is she? Nevada, Las Vegas. Is it Arizona? And she works in water resources, and I'm talking to her about developing a course on group model building because we don't have that yet. That's another stream in system dynamics, that you work with a group to build models. The way I build models are many of Jay built models. You talk to people, you read the theories, you go back and you conceptualize, you come back and talk again. That's the process. A group is working in a group, they converge on some structure, and none of us has done it, so I'm trying to reach out to people who've done it. But it's still negotiation stage. Now, about the individual courses, I think maybe we can start with Bob, because Bob is here, and he has done two things. He has developed this new software called Stella Pro, and he's redone his course 553. Maybe you can tell us something about what he's going to do.
Yes, probably intensive. Redone my not quite well. So the purpose of the course really is to lay down the foundation for different kinds of ways you can do things with models. So there is a fair bit about how to think about working with data and models, and building confidence in models that goes beyond the normal techniques to building confidence in models. And then there's a lot on the whole process of calibration and optimization of models to try to learn more of it. The focus on the course is really figuring out ways to get insights into the problems we're working on. It's not focusing on just using the techniques. That said, there's just an awful lot of stuff that gets done. So it is very technical and important. We make a lot of use of software. We get to do a lot of things. The goal, as in all modeling work, is to really understand the real world better. But the path to getting there is rather so that's kind of the background of the course. I'm modifying it a little bit to try and be a bit broader. There's a new book that's come out. He's titled, now this is my man, I don't know if here, and a bunch of people, a bunch of collaborators together in the book. So we'll be using that for some of the material. I'll be keeping a fair bit of the material what I had. It will be done with self-professional instead of being done with the course. But the real learning intent of the course is not really trying to. If you get to consulting jobs and big world projects, it's just a lot of stuff that gets done that you get to read about. And this goes into a lot of that stuff. People meant to be pretty hands-on, this people meant to about how you go in and be highly detailed in some cases, how you do it, how you manage that, and what it tells you about what you can actually learn from it. Advice to be fairly objective in that. There's a lot of things into that. Objective actually, it's funny because at times he hates data. Was the one that convinced me to do this course. And that, so I mean, that's kind of the purpose of the course. It's a lot of work, both you and the students, to see the kinds of techniques that can apply to models to get to the type of work.
Then the cell will have this optimization tool again.
It's a matter of tense.
So how are you going to talk about these things with the Stella Pro?
So I will be using both Stella Pro and R. And some of these features are going into Stella Pro, some of these things are going to R, but we usually don't most of those stuff.
What's the other one? Stella Pro and?
R, it's a statistics.
I see.
I'll put it there, but we won't be using that. We won't be using R for that.
This is SD553.
553.
So that's kind of an overview of that course.
Kareem, your courses. I just found out that Kareem now teaches the largest number of courses in our program.
Keep going.
But they aren't every semester, Colin.
Not every semester, but over the year.
Yes. So the 552 course is all about developing insights, and specifically insights based on feedback analysis. So we'll be looking at some different models, and we'll be trying to determine what we can figure out from them. We'll build some models also and compare models simpler models we built with more complicated models to decide what kind of insights we can get from them. As Khalid referred to earlier, we have some focus on looking at loop dominance and how that changes over time. And there will also be focus, but there's in all the courses on using reusable blocks to build your models.
So when Jim originally offered this course, he actually had a little eigenvalue analysis package he put together in Java or something that he was giving to the students who were quite puzzled.
I know, and it actually still works, but I haven't decided yet if I'm going to use that program.
Okay.
So what will you use for?
I'm going to be using Stella Pro.
I see. And Stella Pro can identify the dominant loops in a.
No, who said that? I never said that. So if we need some extra software outside, then I'll provide that. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, when Jim Thompson taught this course, he really focused on human understanding as opposed to automated understanding.
Right, right. I think that's probably the difference between 551 and 553 also. that I focus on human understanding, and you focus on the technique.
I focus on building human understanding through hard work. You focus on letting the students off easy.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Well,
That's course.
in 552, there's a mix of student understanding and some technical tools to help you derive insights that you might not get on your own. But it isn't too technical until later on.
Nice to have different perspectives, and my perspective is that technique actually can limit the human understanding sometimes.
If you lean on it too much, yeah.
It can close your eyes to some issues.
That's actually
And
what makes my course hard.
That-
I also believe that, and the students don't.
Right.
so we have both these perspectives. Bob will teach you the techniques which are very powerful, but I don't use them. You might find them useful and enhance. I mean, there are multiple paths to getting there, to getting the learning. One is through techniques, the other is more qualitative, and we offer both. That's why this variety, I think, is very valuable for us.
Is 552 is planned to be offered now every other year, or how is it?
We are hoping to. It all depends on the enrollment.
Enrollment, okay.
So we think that it should be viable to offer every other year.
Kareem, did I hear you correctly that you will be using different models, small, large, to approach the same problem and then see the difference?
Correct. We'll look at some different models that look at the same problem exactly.
So this would help modelers to decide about the level of details that they need to incorporate when they embark on a modeling project. Would that be an outcome?
That is certainly an outcome, and another outcome would be identifying what is more important to include, not just scale of the model, but what might be more important to include versus leave out. So we'll look at some very simple models that don't have the dynamics that they ought to have, even though they are very good mental models. And we'll also look at some models that are probably too advanced for the problem that you're trying to solve. We're trying to focus on building a model that will give you the insight without getting out of control. And again, it's based all on feedback analysis.
So I don't know if Oleg is coming. You want to say something about the intro to system dynamics also, because there were some questions about it.
Yes, the intro course, Intro to System Dynamics, was designed specifically to dovetail into 551, and it specifically is the homework assignments aren't so technically challenging that you might get lost if you're not very familiar with modeling. So it's meant more to help you get up to speed on modeling without getting too involved in the technical details that, or large technical assignments that might discourage you.
Yeah, which, in fact, in ST5550, we do have large technical assignments, right?
There are, right, yes, there are a number of them.
Was there less mathematics in 590?
I think same amount as 550.
So the difference, so 550 came out of the MIT tradition of
Right.
dynamics. In which you sit down and you bang your head against the wall for a week, and then you end your time. And so the courses were very, very labor intensive. They required students to do an incredible amount of work to get there. So you learn a lot as a consequence of that, but it's not necessarily the sufficient for it. So it wasn't 550 comes out of that. pedagogy that is, and it's a great course, but it's a lot of work to get over it. Whereas 590 takes a more modern pedagogy.
Right, exactly. That's exactly it.
What's 590 called?
Introduction to System Dynamics. We so introduced as an alternative to 550. And now we are offering these, say, once a year, each one of them. And they both can be the prerequisites for the advanced courses.
And you have much feedback on
That's a good question. How many
I
students
couldn't hear.
that
have we got much feedback on 590 versus 550?
No, and I'm not sure how we would get that because we have the students take one, not the other, right? If they take one, they don't take the other. But there might be a difference in the people who are in 551. I don't know, Pod. Have you noticed?
Give it to me for free, I can do this equation. I'm willing to take it again. Because and then I will judge between the 550 and the 590. I took 550.
Good. So sign him up as put him in as a guest in both these courses, and Raj will give you the evaluation.
I did the 550, and I'm willing to go for 590.
590.
550 was a lot of work, but I thought it was very, the spectrum of information was fun.
I think a 550 is really great system thinking process. It sort of prepares you. It imparts all the tools which are needed, and I mean it's a great course. 590 does that perhaps more efficiently, but it'll be nice if we can get an opinion. So we have a volunteer here.
So the other place you get it is the people who are taking 551.
Right.
Courses. You can pay attention.
Right. I think we haven't gotten there yet. Maybe next term when I offer 551, I'll have students from both preparations.
Yeah, I was going to say, when I took it, it's been a while since I did it. If the amount of work I went to 550, if I didn't do that, 551, I felt like I had a similar.
You felt 551 was what?
A similar amount of work. I thought it was it's another intensive class.
Right.
So I don't know. I might have been underprepared.
Yeah, but in 551, I give 8 homework assignments, but they are more demanding, and they are not precisely defined.
They're not precisely defined, right?
A lot. Okay, and about the project dynamics, you gave us a preview. If you have something more to say.
No, I think that pretty much covers it. That's what it's all about. It's about how to model the dynamics that happen in projects, particularly projects that end up behind schedule, and the effects of changes that we try to implement to fix the schedule, and they end up making things a lot worse. And why?
So in fact, as you might have noticed, we offer a very large variety of courses. I would say that we offer the largest number of graduate courses on system dynamics in the world. No one offers 13 courses. And when I was at the ST conference, I was happy to hear the buzz that, in fact, our students are good modelers. That was the key word. So that buzz pumped me up. So I think the secret is that we have the best instructors, we have the instructors who develop these concepts that are teaching. There is a large variety. You learn all the approaches, and then you can adopt one or the other in your practice.
Develop their own based on what
Develop your own. That too. That's what we expect out of our PhD students. I'm talking about the graduate certificate and master's program. Sometimes they can do that too. Sure. I noticed that we do not have any viewers, but since we're going to post it and share the link, if there are any questions, are we giving any emails or sending any questions?
I think it would be good if you did that. So, yeah, for the folks who email by yourself. And maybe,
All the instructors.
Yeah,
Exactly.
If you have any questions about a specific course, there are the emails of the instructors.
Yeah, that sounds great.
You can, and if you have,
And anyone else in this room is going to share their emails about students.
yes. So, your questions, your own emails.
Oh, yeah, we can.
And if they have any questions about the program, ask Diane.
Yeah, Diane wanted to be here, but she's on a conference today.
Yeah.
But
How do people find out about system dynamics? Program here, obviously they can go to system dynamics organization. How do you typically advertise and stuff like that? I found it, I stumbled on it. I'll take it some other class.
I think most people stumble on it.
I think I'm an undergrad student, and here Ralph came to one of my classes a year ago, and he just gave a brief for simulation course. So that's we simulate with Arena software. Professor Conrad teaches it, and so he came and talked for like 30 minutes about what is system dynamics, and just said, "Oh, we have system dynamic program here, we have classes." But at that point, and then I met with Professor Pavlov about taking a course, but then I was away for IQB, which is like I was in Thailand, so I couldn't take any like semester-long courses. But then as a senior now, I finished my IQB, so I may consider taking one next semester. I don't know. Should I take the game one as an undergrad course in D-term, or should I take the semester one with the intro one?
It's a good question. Depending on how much time you have, the graduate courses are quite demanding and quite time intensive. So I don't know if you want to take the course as a window opener. Maybe the games course is fine. If you want to take a course and do something further with it, maybe an online system dynamics course would work better. Different people have used these window opening course differently. Therefore, yesterday we had a student, an EE major, who had taken economics as a minor. Then he found out during his last term here that he can also take a system dynamics course and it would be counted towards his minor. So he took this games course, I think. And he's working with EMC now. And he came back and he said, well, I have thought about it. After a few years, I'll get into the managerial role, and I think I should do more on system dynamics. And his window opening course was the games course. So it sort of sat in his mind, and he came back after a few years that he wants to pursue it. So it's a matter of choice, how much time you have And
I think 550. I'm not relatively kind of debating should I take it or not because I'm under a lot of pressure to finish.
so you have taken 550.
Yes, I've taken 550 and I've taken agent-based modeling because I'm very interested in multi-method or hybrid modeling or just knowing what method to use given the same problem.
You're a graduate student.
Yes.
So maybe you can say something about the workload in 550.
Honestly, I didn't think it
Sorry,
was
your
that
name
much.
is
Nicholas.
Nick, and probably I don't know if
I
that's a consideration.
I don't remember what I was taking. I took it my first semester as a grad student. I was taking a manufacturing class at the same time and doing research. I don't think that
Not huge.
normal because as undergrad at WPI, we have a lot of work every single day. So I thought it was fine. It was normal to me.
Yeah, sometimes the expectation is that a social science course might be lighter than an engineering course, but system dynamics courses are not. If you, a lot of people who have engineering majors sort of wrestle with this expectation. If you think that, well, it might be as challenging as an engineering course, your major is management, industrial engineering. Then I think this will not be heavy, but it's a matter of choice. The ST5 550 runs for a semester. Hard to say. Now I'm teaching the games. So, if you decide to take that, welcome. If you come back for a master's degree, then if you take an online or a graduate certificate, then the credits you earn for the graduate course will be transferred.
Right.
Investment in the future.
Yeah, sure. For the undergraduate course, no.
Already started. How about such a good incentive?
Your job, I'm gonna sign you up for after you finish.
I think the introduction, I don't know about the game, but the introduction maybe it's heavy, but it's so interesting because you could find a solution. You think you find a solution to a problem that it's out there and we are not thinking about it this way. And so when you practice and you put the pieces together and you see the model run in front of you, it's really so exciting, even though sometimes it takes 12 hours, different assignments, but it's very exciting. It's rewarding, and you think that you could find the tools to solve major problems. And industrial engineering with the system dynamics and even with the software, when you look at things, you basically make big connection with the industrial engineering. Supply chain, delivery time, stocks, pipelines, all those kinds of stuff. It's a big thing.
Yeah, my background is electrical engineering and industrial engineering. So.
Yeah, I thought it really shaped the way you've learned a lot. You've taken a lot of different classes. I thought it really put a framework around the way to think about problems. I thought that was good.
Actually, in the 20th year celebration of the industrial engineering program at WPI, a guest speaker came and he happened to work on energy models based on the world model and the growth. And as he was talking about the future tools for industrial engineers, he mentioned that learning about complex systems and feedback, and he was referring to system dynamics where he actually did some work at some point. So if you take the introduction class, this was like, as you enter the industry, you are equipped
Is there a place where I can access the syllabus?
Oh, we can send you this. You have to email address. I can send you syllabus of both Form 50 and EMC.
By the way, is there a possibility that the syllabus will be online for people as they decisions?
Let me try to. I think I tried to get syllabi from everybody, and I'll look through my collection. And do post.
Because I think from the course description, you will see the syllabus to start to build the section.
Yeah, it's like the idea of what it's gonna work or not. Like, does it work? Finishing the career, and then
Yeah. MPP.
finishing the.
Oh, you're good.
I should mention that I've had a number of students who did their IQPs or MQPs after taking the games course. They felt sufficiently confident to try to build a model of a real problem.
I'll look at the syllabus.
I'll send you the syllabi, and I'll send you the syllabi of all the GET courses. You can post. I'll also send you this PowerPoint in which I list the courses. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Karim.
Thank you, Karim.
Yeah, good to see everyone.
Thank you, bye.
We'll see you tomorrow.
No, I won't be there.
You won't be there.
I was planning to be there, but I have so much stuff I still have to get done this week.
I see. Maybe you need to break away from that so much stuff.
At least come to the lunch.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Experiment to use this broadcast.
I was right. I took 5 minutes.
Bye, Kareem.
Wasn't me. I'm running classes, guys, especially for you.
Presentation. One note.
I'm very interested in taking the games class, but I think it'll be very fun.
I'm sure it'll be fun.
Bye.